The Courageous Adventure of Peter Rabbit and Charlie in Mr. McGregor's Garden. Once upon a time, in a cozy little burrow nestled beneath the roots of a grand old oak tree, there lived a brave and curious rabbit named Peter. Peter Rabbit had a passion for gardening and loved to nibble on carrot cake, his favorite dessert. His best friend, Lily Bobtail, often joined him on his gardening adventures. Together, they explored the world around them with excitement and courage. One bright and sunny day, Peter Rabbit decided it was the perfect time for a new adventure. He invited his human friend, a 6-year-old boy named Charlie, to join him. Charlie, with his brown hair and twinkling eyes, was always eager for an exciting escapade. He loved spending time with Peter Rabbit and learning about the wonders of nature. "Charlie, would you like to come with me to Mr. McGregor's garden?" Peter asked, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. "Yes, Peter. I would love to," Charlie replied enthusiastically. "But isn't Mr. McGregor's garden a bit dangerous? He doesn't like it when we go there." "That's true," Peter admitted, "but we will be careful. We need to gather some fresh vegetables for a new recipe I'm trying in my garden. And besides, it's always an adventure when we're together." With that, the two friends set off on their journey to Mr. McGregor's garden. They hopped and skipped through the meadow, over the stream, and past the tall, swaying grasses. As they approached the garden gate, they were filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Remember, we must be quiet and quick," Peter whispered to Charlie. "Mr. McGregor is always on the lookout for trespassers." Charlie nodded, determined to show his courage. Together, they carefully squeezed through a gap in the wooden fence and tiptoed into the garden. The garden was a paradise of vibrant colors and delicious scents. Rows of plump tomatoes, crisp lettuce, and juicy strawberries stretched out before them. Peter and Charlie marveled at the abundance of fresh produce. "Let's start with the carrots," Peter suggested. "They'll make the perfect addition to our carrot cake." As they began to gather the vegetables, they heard a rustling noise nearby. Their hearts skipped a beat as they turned to see Mr. McGregor's shadow approaching. "Quick, hide!" Peter whispered urgently. The two friends dived behind a large pumpkin, holding their breath as Mr. McGregor walked past, muttering to himself. They waited until he was out of sight before resuming their task. Just as they were about to leave, Peter spotted a patch of the biggest, juiciest strawberries he'd ever seen. "We can't leave without these," he said, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "But Peter, what if Mr. McGregor comes back?" Charlie asked, his voice trembling slightly. "We have to be brave, Charlie. Sometimes, you have to take risks to achieve great things," Peter replied, smiling reassuringly at his friend. Charlie nodded, summoning all his courage. Together, they carefully picked the strawberries and placed them in their basket. Just as they were about to leave, they heard a loud shout. "You there! Stop!" Mr. McGregor bellowed, spotting the two friends. Peter and Charlie exchanged a quick glance before dashing towards the garden gate. They ran as fast as their legs could carry them, with Mr. McGregor hot on their heels. "Hurry, Charlie!" Peter urged, his heart pounding in his chest. With a final burst of energy, they squeezed through the gap in the fence and bolted towards the safety of the meadow. Mr. McGregor stopped at the gate, shaking his fist in frustration. "And don't come back, you pesky rabbits," he yelled. Once they were a safe distance away, Peter and Charlie collapsed on the grass, laughing and gasping for breath. "We did it, Peter. We were so brave," Charlie exclaimed, his eyes shining with pride. "Yes, we were," Peter agreed, smiling at his friend. "And now we have all these delicious vegetables and strawberries. Let's make the best carrot cake ever." Back at Peter's burrow, they worked together to create the most scrumptious carrot cake, topped with fresh strawberries. As they enjoyed their delicious treat, they reflected on their adventure and the lessons they had learned. That was the best adventure ever, Charlie said, savoring a bite of cake. It sure was, Peter agreed. And it taught us the importance of courage, friendship, and respecting others' boundaries. With their hearts full of joy and their bellies full of cake, Peter and Charlie knew that their friendship was stronger than ever. They couldn't wait for their next adventure, knowing that together, they could face anything the world had to offer. And so, as the sun set and the stars twinkled in the night sky, Peter Rabbit and Charlie drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the exciting adventures that awaited them in the days to come.
Created by a kid and their parent using TaleBot, click the link in the video description to create your own story.